Welcome to Cam Look, your twice daily dose of the Cincinnati Art Museum. Each Tuesday and Thursday, a staff member or volunteer will be sharing an object from the permanent collection and posing questions for discussion. Please check back at 10 a.m. every Tuesday and Thursday for a new work and a new conversation. My name is Sue. I'm a volunteer docent here at the Cincinnati Art Museum. Now that the 2024 Summer Olympic Games have begun, I began to think about what the museum and the Paris Games have in common. It occurred to me that during the Olympic awards ceremony, medals made from gold, silver, and bronze are handed out to the top 3 winners. Well, the Art Museum also has items made from gold, silver, and bronze. Earlier this week, we shared items made from gold and silver. Today, we'll talk about bronze. Let's take a look at one work of art that features the use of bronze in its construction. Here's a bronze sculpture of the Hindu goddess Sri Devi. Here we see a standing figure of the goddess with a very narrow waist and her left hip gently flexed, giving a sense of swaying and movement. This bronze statue was cast during the Chola dynasty period, which took place between the 9th and 13th centuries. Figures during this time were characterized by their slender bodies, strikingly beautiful faces, and idealized physical form. And I think our Sri Devi meets that description. Our Sri Devi is wearing a conical hat and possibly holding a lotus flower in her left hand. She is adorned with jewelry and multiple necklaces and bracelets. So who is Sri Devi? She is one of the numerous forms of the goddess Lakshmi, who is worshipped in the Hindu religion. She is the goddess of wealth and prosperity. She also represents cleanliness, goodness, and hope. Typically, we see her represented in a trio of figures with Vishnu in the center, Bhudevi to his left, and Sri Devi to his right. So if you're like me, you began to think about how in the world does someone go about making a bronze statue? In today's world, I assume it involves pouring molten metal into a pre-made mold, letting it cool, and then popping it out, and voila, there you have it. But how about the world where this was made in the 19th century? So there are a few different techniques depending on the size of the object, but let's focus on a technique for a smaller object. First, the artist would mold the image in the form of hard beeswax. This wax figure is then covered in a fine clay, which is usually made from termite hills. And then it's fired in a pit so that the wax melts away but leaves the imprint of the female figure in the hardened clay. This method is sometimes called the lost wax process. Next, heated molten copper is mixed with lead and tin, and it's poured into the clay mold impression. Once the molten metal has cooled, the clay form around it has been chipped away, and you're left with a beautiful bronze figure. What I find most interesting is that because the beeswax figure has melted away and the clay mold was chipped away, we destroyed the ability to make another statue, so we have to start the process all over again. On the plus side, we're left with a unique bronze statue that cannot be replicated. Finally, you might notice a hole in the base of our figure. This was used to secure the statue in place when it was taken out of the temple and paraded through the streets during festivals where there would be music, singing, dancing in honor of the deities. And thinking about our Sri Devi as a religious icon, it makes me wonder if you have a figure in your home today that represents your religious beliefs. Maybe we're not so different from those who came 1,000 years before us. Let me know what you think.